incident was. Today's topic, as people are coming on live, is what is the secret to an exceptional life? It's a big question with just as big an answer. I'll tell you why I'm doing this topic today. I'll tell you that in just a moment. But first of all, I have to give you a little bit of context as to why it's a coffee date morning, because for the last probably month, I've been having my one and only coffee for the day at about 6 o'clock in the morning, because I've been going to Brunswick Heads to do some work on the book. And so I get home at about 8 o'clock in the morning and kind of the day starts. It's been school holidays. Good morning to you, Helen. And I've been doing this every weekday, or pretty much 7 days a week, actually, getting up at about 5:30, going to the cafe. Yesterday morning, two of my children, the two youngest, 4-year-old Tommy and 1-year-old Spencer, we were down in the garage. What was the day yesterday? It was Monday, wasn't it? So it was yesterday morning. I'd been to the cafe. I'd come home. I had breakfast. The kids were all over me, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. The energy in the house was let's call it frantic, but it was just intense. Went downstairs into the garage, which is also the playroom, and Tommy was climbing this bookshelf, which is, I don't know, maybe it goes up to about here, like chest high. And Spencer started climbing the bookshelf as well. And it's one of those slanted bookshelves where you could kind of put books on one side and then a bookshelf on the other. Anyway, Tommy was climbing up it and then jumping off. And I said, mate, if you do this, Spencer's going to copy you. And naturally, Spencer's climbing up, which the bookshelf is like an Everest for a 1-year-old. He's climbing up, I was like, dude, this is not the way it's meant to be. And anyway, terrible dad moment coming up. I just gently pushed him off. I just nudged him off, but he didn't know that I was about to do it. I was kind of like, mate, can you hop off so Spencer doesn't copy you? And I pushed him off. He was sitting on the shelf, so his feet were probably about 40 centimeters from the ground, but he didn't know that I was about to just nudge him off the bookshelf. And he fell to the ground and landed awkwardly on his foot and, cut long story short, broke his toe. So not my finest hour in parenting land. He ended up at the Byron Hospital yesterday. He's got a leg full of plaster for a break in his toe. But there is some context here, because this morning is the first morning in a long time that I haven't been up and at him in the morning, because Tommy wanted me to stay in his bed all night last night, which I thought was fascinating, because I'm surprised he didn't want to beat living daylights out of me, because I did feel somewhat responsible for his toe breaking. But that's a story for another day. The reason why I tell you this is because at the cafe 2 days earlier, I was doing a proofread of the book. And again, I've just started telling the public about the book, and thank you to everyone who's been buying the book. It is selling well. It's exceeding my expectations. It's literally I've been telling the public for maybe 3 or 4 days. It literally goes to the printer maybe tomorrow. I've just got to touch base with the editor to make 2 more little changes, and then it's in. But so I'm in the cafe on Sunday morning, I think it was, and I'm doing this. I'm scanning the book, and I have a seat near the counter of the cafe. I like to talk to the staff and the rest, and I'm doing this. And this lovely lady who's somewhere over there, she sees me reading the book. And she's like, so she's an English accent. I won't try and, it's a bit of fun. She says, what is the secret to an exceptional life? What does the author say is the secret to an exceptional life? She kind of wants to know, what's the summary? And Cam, who has a Footbridge Cafe in Bruns, he's like, this guy is the author. He's not just reading it. He wrote the book. And this lady was taken aback, which is fair enough. Often when you see someone reading a book, you don't think they're reading their own book because, well, let's be honest, it looks a bit self-indulgent. But I was doing a proof. I had about 20 more pages of the Spirit chapter to go. I'd found some embarrassing punctuation errors, which just drives me a little bit wild that there will be one error in here. And anyway, she said, okay then, so what is the secret to an exceptional life? And I won't say I froze, but a couple of people gathered round the conversation who were also waiting for their coffee. And I wasn't actually really sure where to start. I was like, well, this is a good beginning. We're all here having coffee and we're a community and we're getting to know each other and the rest. But what I found is that really wasn't the answer that she was looking for. After a while, when my answer was, somewhat of what is it, a wet lettuce kind of response. It wasn't like, wow, here's the secret, here's the pot of gold. We ended up having a really good, deep and meaningful one-on-one conversation, which lasted about 10 minutes. But it's fair to say this customer has some pretty big life decisions to make. She has a young child. She lives in the Byron Shire. She's tossing up moving back to her home country. And these are life purpose decisions. And it got me thinking, on the back of the book, it does say, is there a secret to living an exceptional life? Yes, there is, and it may not be what you think. And really, I can tell you, and I'm going to tell you right now this morning what the secret to living an exceptional life is, but that doesn't mean that once I share it with you, you've got the secret and it's done. It's not like that. This is a lifelong adventure of almost redefining the secret or redefining the recipes that go into the secret. And so the recipe of the secret to an exceptional life, for those of you that know my work, you know what I'm going to say. The secret to an exceptional life has 8 parts. It has your life purpose, doing what you love and loving what you do. It has your movement, moving in ways that you love to, not in ways that you think you have to. So making movement a lifestyle chore, a choice rather than a lifestyle chore. Graduating from exercise to movement, because there's a massive difference. The third part of the secret to an exceptional life is your social life. That is loving who you love, loving who you hang around, and the people that hang around you, loving where you live, being a good friend, a number of elements. You can see this secret is for want of a better term, complicated. It's complex. Life is complex. Fourth part of the secret is your nutrition, not just what you eat, but how you eat, who you eat with, why you eat, when you eat. Fifth part of the secret is your love and relationships. And again, there's 10 relationships that will have an impact, a big impact on your life. That is above you, your grandparents and your parents, sideways of you, your siblings and your intimate partner, and then in generations that come after you, your children, if you have them. But there's more to the story. You've got aunties and uncles, you've got cousins, you've got in-laws, you've got step brothers, step mothers, step fathers. You could have adopted, you could have been in a foster family. So there's a number of ingredients that go into an exceptional family life. And then sixth part of the secret is your growth. Are you learning and evolving and growing in areas that you love to learn? Are you doing courses just because everyone tells you to do a course? Or are you doing courses that light you up, that fill you with enthusiasm, that you really can't wait to do? And that could be the course of a book. I mean, books are my online courses. I'm not actually big on online courses. There's one or two that I really love. But for me, a book is a life's work. A course you can make in 90 days. So anyway, that's just me getting on my high horse. Wealth, do you spend less than you earn and invest the difference, or do you spend more than you earn like most people in the world? We have 17 million credit cards in circulation in Australia with an average balance payable of $4,000. I mean, and then ingredient number 8 is your spirit. You are a limitless soul, but do you believe you're a limitless soul? Do you put labels, good and bad, right and wrong, on everything, or do you see the perfection in all events and circumstances, and do your best not to live with a threshold every single day? So the secret is the combination, your unique combination of those 8 ingredients. And at different stages of life, those 8 ingredients need to change in quantity. And it's a different quantity for all of us at different times. And so I really want you to consider that the recipe for you is going to be slightly different for someone else. And how dare we impose our values or quantities, because values really are quantities, impose our quantities of how to live on other people. I'm doing an interview with Dr. John Demartini this afternoon, and the cornerstone of his whole philosophy and framework in life is your values. And the big part of it is that we all have different values. Your children have different values to you. Your partner has different values to you. Your friends have different values to you. Your family definitely has different values to you. And how we choose to live our values, almost like in spite of, but really it's alongside everyone else living their values. And the way in which we do that, do we get angry that other people have different values to us? Does it upset us? Do we bemoan and just wish that other people were different than who they are or how they are? Because, people aren't changing. They're not going to change. And as soon as we have the expectation to change, we set up heartache for ourselves. And so this is the secret to living an exceptional life, so to speak. This is my compelling response that I wish I gave at the cafe on Sunday morning at 6:30 when probably no one wanted those conversations. But as you know, I can talk about this stuff all day long. And so I know this is a bit deep and meaningful to, put comments in the chat and tell me how you're going in your exceptional life and the rest. But I will just pop up a link. If you haven't got the book yet, you can. It is there, marcuspearce.com.au/pre-order. The book is $27.95 and it includes free delivery for all the pre-orders. I don't know how Amazon works with delivery. That'll all be out of my hands. But for now, I can gift you with free delivery as a thank you for showing your faith in my message in the book. Again, there it is. That's the sole copy or one of two copies. There's one in Gisborne if you're going to go and try and track that down. But there'll be hundreds and thousands of them in the next couple of weeks. So that's it, guys. I wish you a terrific Tuesday. I really want you to consider, how are you going? Hey there, Pete. Let's get started. Mate, I'm just about to wrap up. I want you to consider, how are you going in the 8 ingredients that make up the secret that is your exceptional life. You can do it right now, really. It's your exceptional 8 for the day. Are you doing what you love and loving what you do today? Are you moving in ways that you love? Are you being around people that you love and love you? Are you eating well with others, chewing your food slowly and enjoying yourself with your food? Are you surrounded by your family and loved ones? Are you improving your relationship with your loved ones? Are you putting deposits in the bank of your intimate relationship, your relationship with your children, your relationship with your wider family members and the rest? Are you learning what you love to learn? Are you sitting on the couch with a good book at night, or watching a great doco, or watching a cool movie, or are you actually learning in ways that you love to learn? Are you spending less than you earn today, or are you spending things that aren't in the budget and you don't know where that money is going to come from, but you're just going to do it anyway? That kind of runs out of gas after a while. I can tell you, I share my story of debt demolition in here. I'm going to release some extracts or some excerpts from the book, but the story of debt demolition, my personal story of debt. Sarah and I were married in 2009, paid around 40 grand for the wedding. What else? By the time our wedding and honeymoon were complete, we had $55,000 in credit card debt. Interesting times. Not the case anymore. No surprise that we don't have a credit card between us anymore. But anyway, folks, I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to wish you all a wonderful Tuesday. I better finish off the exceptional 8. Are you seeing the world through the lens of perfection today? Again, I just said midway through this live, I'm interviewing Dr. John DeMartini today as part of the book launch. And one of my questions to him is going to be, John, you are committed to seeing the good in the bad, the right and the wrong, just to see the perfection in everything. At the moment, Cape Town is on fire. Table Mountain, the slopes of Table Mountain are on fire, potentially by an arsonist, with one of the most historic libraries on the planet in flames, millions of books burnt, history just removed. That's going to break the hearts of many. And I'm going to ask him, how have you processed this? Because one thing I know about John DeMartini, he will be processing as soon as something is happening that is triggering him, pushing his buttons, either making him feel elated or depressed. He will start working on the perfection of that as soon as he can. And so I'm going to pop it on him this afternoon when I interview him. I'll release that interview in a couple of weeks when the real marketing machine of a book launch whips into gear. For now, folks, hope you're enjoying these daily check-ins. Enjoy your coffee, your peppermint tea. I'm a bit of a peppermint tea, green tea combo kind of guy. It's a great thing. Green tea bag, peppermint tea bag, or loose leaf if you have it in a teapot. It's a very good first or second drink for the day. More random recipes coming your way on another edition of Your Exceptional Day. Make the rest of your life the best of your life. Do it on this terrific Tuesday, folks. Over and out. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks, Krista. Thanks for your excitement. Hope you enjoy.